As Mahatmas, as his Mahatmas, as his Agnas. Wonderful. So good to see you, all of you. And I hope that all of you were able to really connect and be with our Gnani as he went on in this magnificent Shibir in London.
Bueno, dice Shuddha que empezamos el satsang con mucho agradecimiento después del NAN en Londres.
Good. So we let me share the screen now, and we go to our flawless vision. And the flawless vision this is the 34th session of the flawless vision in the Dadavani of July 2010.
11 in Gujarati and 36, I think we done the last time.
Yes. So let me just pull it out. So let's share the screen, and here we are. 36, did you say?
Yes, 11 in Gujarati. 36, yes.
Pure awareness in worldly life, we haven't done it, right? We haven't done it. 36 in Gujarati, we did finish. Let me see. Bitter circumstances can be made sweet. Is that what we...
We're done. That was done.
We have done that. Yeah. So then the next one is pure awareness in worldly life, right? Okay.
I think, yes.
We had done that. What do you... Upyog, I think we might have done it.
I think we've done, yes. We've done, yes.
Yes. That's what I thought. And so we talked about the wives.
Yes.
Equanimity is not reacting to the unfolding karma effect. I think that's where we are at on page 40.
Yes.
Yes. And let me pull out the Gujarati too, my friends. The Nukdedana Pratispandan અને પછી ચિત્ત રહેવા જગતમાં અને પછી and page 11. Yes. Yes. Equanimity is not reacting to the unfolding karma effect. That is...
La ecuanimidad es no reaccionar al efecto del despliegue de karma.
And the principle of Akram Vignan is such that if a person is dropping his money unknown to him, first we stop the money from falling. That is, we stop the causes, and then we pick up the money he has dropped. That is when we take care of the effects. See, the world keeps picking up the fallen money. Hey, you, why don't you first stop the money from falling? Otherwise, there will be no end to it. Otherwise, you will not be able to complete your karma,
El principio del Akram dice que si una persona deja caer su dinero, primero evitamos que el dinero caiga, detenemos las causas, y luego recogemos el dinero que ha caído y atacamos los efectos. el mundo está siempre levantando el dinero que cayó. Tú, ¿por qué primero no evitas que el dinero se caiga? Así nunca terminará
Okay.
el karma, ¿no?
Yeah. Worldly interaction or vyavahar for you will not present much difficulty. Once you settle with the vyavahar, once you settle with the vyavahar that unfolds in front for you, unfolds for you, then whatever discharging bhav intent is presenting as desire, that is otherwise known as bhavna. It's no longer called bhav is charge intent, you see. Now this discharging intent is called bhavna, right there, you see. It will be there, ready and waiting for you ahead of time. We, the Gnani, and we means, Dada says, the Gnani and the fully enlightened Lord within had gone to Lake Vihar, a lake in Gujarat, Lake Vihar, for a visit. There I had a new kind of thought. And there are 100 Mahatmas here, 50 women, 50 men. It would be so nice if they did Mataji's Garba, which you're all familiar with, you see. Mataji's Garba means you dance around goddess Amba, you see. With this thought, the moment I turned around, they all stood up and started doing Garba. Now, I had not asked anyone, and yet it happened. So, this is what happens. Your thoughts will not go to waste. Your words will not be wasted. What is happening to people nowadays? Nothing grows or blossoms for them. Their speech does not grow. Their thoughts do not grow, and neither does their conduct. One will make 3 trips to collect on a loan he made, but his debtor will never be there. Finally, when he does meet the debtor will become aggravated at him, you see. All right, so let you read that.
La interacción mundana y bajar para ti no presentará mucha dificultad una vez que manejes con el bajar que se despliega para ti. Luego, cualquier intento de descarga que se presente como deseo, bhavna, estará ya listo y esperándote. Nosotros, el Gnani y el Lord completamente iluminado dentro suyo, habíamos ido de visita al lago de Bihar y allí tuve un nuevo tipo de pensamiento. Aquí hay 100 Mahatmas, 50 mujeres y 50 hombres. Sería tan lindo que hicieran el Garba de Mataji. Es una danza folclórica devocional dedicada a la diosa Amba. Con este pensamiento, en el momento en que me di vuelta, todos se levantaron y empezaron a bailar el Garba. Yo no se lo había pedido a nadie, sin embargo sucedió. Entonces, esto es lo que sucede. Tus pensamientos no se desperdiciarán, tus palabras tampoco. ¿Qué le sucede hoy a las personas? Nada crece o florece para ellas. Su habla no crece, sus pensamientos no crecen, tampoco lo hace su conducta. Y uno irá 3 veces para cobrar el dinero que prestó, pero su deudor nunca estará allí. Finalmente, cuando encuentre a su deudor, este se sentirá agraviado por él.
In this, when Dada talks about nothing grows for you all, your speech does not grow, your mind, your thoughts do not grow, your conduct does not grow. What Dada is trying to say is, it has to blossom like a flower so that it becomes meaningful for people around you. It becomes helpful for others, you see. That is called growth, you see.
Dada dice que nada crece, no, y no, ni pensamientos ni conductas. Y lo que dice Dada es que tienes que florecer para poder ayudar a las otras personas.
This path of ours is such that your debtor, the one who owes you money, will come to your home to return your money. If you make 7 or so trips to collect your money without success, and then when you finally meet him, he tells you to come back in a month's time. If at that time there is no change within you, that is, you do not get aggravated, then the money will come to your home.
Por este camino tu deudor vendrá hacia ti a devolverte el dinero. Si vas 7, 8 veces a buscar tu dinero y no tienes éxito, y luego cuando finalmente lo encuentras te dice que vuelvas en un mes, si en ese momento no hay un cambio dentro tuyo, es decir, que si no te sientes agravado, entonces el dinero vendrá solo a ti.
Yeah. This interpretation here, no change within you, is not equivalent to you do not get aggravated, you know. This is visible aggravation, other people can see it, but no change within you means there is no change within you, period, you know. There is a calmness there, you see. There is peace there. You don't, whatever becomes outside in our worldly interactions that is visible to others begins first with something going on inside, you see. So Dadashri says there should be, if there is no change within you, inside you. So this interpretation is not totally completely correct. You understand? All right.
Yes. Acá dice que si, lo que quiere decir Dada acá con esto es que si primero no hay cambios adentro tuyo, cuando no te devuelven el dinero, si no te sientes agraviado y si hay paz en tu interior, entonces va a suceder, va a venir lo bueno, ¿no? Porque todo lo que es visible comienza en tu interior. El cambio comienza en el interior.
All right. And Dada gives examples of the changes, internal changes and reactions, you see. But this is the correct interpretation. Internal changes and then the reactions. Effects, that they both are considered effects in, parinam means effects, you see. Do not occur within you. Correction, Dada says internal changes and reactions do occur within you, do they not? Changes and reactions like, he's a useless person, he has no sense, he wasted my trip. Such are the changes that occur within you. Therefore, when you go to him again to collect your money, it's your money you're trying to collect, he will curse you. On the other hand, Dada says no changes take place within us. So then where is the problem? And Dada, she says, in general, if we are not affected, then where is the problem? When changes occur within, then initially, even if the other person was not going to get upset and become obstinate, he will. You see, as it is, he doesn't want to give you your money, and then he can sense that if you get upset, then he'll say, okay, I don't have it, or he'll find an excuse to send you back without the money.
Los cambios y las reacciones internas, los efectos, parinam, ocurren dentro de ti, ¿no es así? Los cambios y las reacciones como él es un inútil, me hizo venir inútilmente, ocurren dentro de ti. Por lo tanto, cuando vuelvas a buscar el dinero, él te insultará. Dentro nuestro no suceden cambios. Entonces, ¿dónde está el problema? Cuando hay una persona en nuestro interior, cuando hay cambios, en nuestro interior, entonces desde el principio, aún así la otra persona no iba a molestarse y volverse obstinada. ¿Lo hará? Lo hará.
Okay, so that is this heading, which is very beautiful. Equanimity means not reacting. And in fact, we need to improve this. Equanimity does not mean not reacting to the unfolding karma effect. In equanimity means equanimity is absence of a reaction to the unfolding karma effect. You see the difference? Equanimity is the absence of reactions to the unfolding karma effect. Is a better heading. You see that?
Ecuanimidad es la ausencia de reacción en el despliegue del karma. Ausencia de reacción en el despliegue del karma.
Because it is, we all, my friends, all of us, we are realizing day by day that it is not up to us to react or not react. You see, this is a programmed movie. This is a movie that was filmed, each one of us. This is a movie, pellicula, that was filmed in the last life and it is playing, you see. The only difference is that now the ownership of anything that is playing in the movie is gone in the Gnan Vidhi, and yet out of old habits we kind of blend in with the movie, you see, or the blend in with the effects, you see. So to react or not to react is not within our control. It is not up to us.
Yes. No está en nosotros reaccionar o no. Esto es como un film. La única diferencia es que el dueño, el hacedor del film se fue y no se mezcla con los efectos. Es reaccionar o no, es algo que ya está programado.
This talk that Dada is talking about equanimity, this equanimity is the result of pure grace of our Gnani Purush Dadashri for all of us, you see. His Gnan, his knowledge, and his Agnas, you see, is the only way that these effects and the reaction to these effects will come to an end, you see. There is an effect and then there is a reaction to the effect, you see. The effect is the man says, you went there 7 times and the 8th time he doesn't give you the money, then then it is purely your equanimity that is going to help you. Any reaction is only going to make it worse, you see.
Yes. Estas son las palabras de Dada sobre la ecuanimidad, y esta es la pura gracia, por pura gracia de Dada que recibimos el Nan, el conocimiento y las 5 agnas. Y es la única forma es el único camino para que las reacciones terminen. Los efectos surgen y las reacciones, y luego vienen las reacciones. Entonces tú vas 7 veces a cobrar y no hay dinero, pero si estás en ecuanimidad, no tienes reacción interna, entonces las reacciones terminan y el dinero aparece.
And this flawless vision is developing for all of us, you see. This is this flawless vision increases that, when you went there the 8th time or the 7th time to just get your own money, you're turned back, you see. At that time, if you or I did not have this knowledge, you see, this Gnan of who am I and who is the doer, you see, who is doing this, and why this is happening, that is, it is my own karma effect. He is just a nimit, he is just an instrument, you see. So all of this is developing, and it's developing within each one of us because, number one, we are, with a lot of sincerity, we are reading word by word these magnificent speech of Dada, you see. That's number one. We should never forget that. This is where we are getting our Gnan, you see. And and we also have Dada as our ideal model, in front of us. So I say, Dada says nothing changes within me, you see. And many of us in many situations are experiencing this. Nothing, it doesn't disturb us. Our internal pond, our internal state does not get disturbed, you see. It remains silent, in equanimity. Not in every situation, but in many now, right?
Yes. En esta visión impecable se está desarrollando, incrementando el poder darnos cuenta de lo que está sucediendo. Y por ahí vamos 7 u 8 veces a buscar el dinero, y si no tienes el conocimiento de quién eres, de que no eres el hacedor, que la otra persona tampoco, por qué está pasando, que la otra persona es un límite, entonces las cosas no cambian. Pero sí nosotros lo estamos sintiendo, y esto se está desarrollando en todo. Y primero porque sinceramente leemos las palabras de Dada, y estas palabras de Dada nos dan el Nan y nos llevan al Nan. Y Dada es el modelo ideal, donde nada cambia ni se molesta y permanece en ecuanimidad constante, como queda en ecuanimidad constante en su interior. Es el modelo ideal para aprender.
Dada begins with a very beautiful principle of Akram Vignan. Our Akram Vignan principle of liberation is described in this in the first paragraph, which is, is giving a physical example, that somebody says somebody is carrying a bag of sugar on his shoulder, okay? And you don't, and from the back you see that there is a hole in the bag, so as he's walking he is not aware of the sugar falling out, you see. So the sugar is slowly dripping out, you see. And and so the first, you don't collect the sugar, you see, but what you do is you you stop, close the hole, you see. You go attack the cause. Why is the sugar being lost, you see? Why is this sugar being lost, you see? Or why is something that you hold precious is being lost in this life of ours, you see? Anything, whatever you consider precious, why do you lose it? Why do the reason is you're not attacking the cause, you see. You're not attacking the cause. You're trying to kind of improve the effect, you see. You're trying to improve that which is already not under your control. You don't understand the cause, and the whole science of ours is to change the cause, you see.
Yes. El principio del Akram Vignan es la libertad, y describe perfectamente en el primer párrafo, ¿no? Cuando, por ejemplo, alguien va cargando una bolsa de azúcar en el hombro y va caminando y no se da cuenta que tiene un pequeño agujero y va perdiendo azúcar por ahí. Y tú no vas a juntar el azúcar que se va cayendo. Lo que tienes que hacer es ir a la causa y tapar el agujero. Entonces, tapar el agujero es ir a la causa, porque en la vida a veces perdemos cosas que son preciosas para nosotros, y lo que tenemos que hacer es es ver, entender la causa de por qué está sucediendo.
This whole chapter.
I have a question. The effects show us the cause.
Absolutely. From the effects, we will know
It's
what the
okay.
cause is. Effects will allow us to see what was filled in this Prakriti. It cannot let you see the cause without you really stepping away from Patricia, you see. Because once you separate from Patricia, then you begin to see the causes properly, you see. To give you an example, if you're fighting with your sister all the time, and all sorts of negative words are coming, you see, whenever the two of you meet, and you keep on saying, oh, I don't want to talk like this, I don't want to, she's my sister, I love her, I shouldn't talk like this. So that you try to continue to change your speech when she's around, but you really do not see the cause behind it. And the cause is hidden deep inside you. You see, so when you move away from Patricia, then you can see those causes, you see. And of course, the real cause is ignorance in the last life, but we are talking about the current life,
Yes. Le pregunto a Shuddha si los efectos nos permiten ver cuáles son las causas, porque no vemos las causas. Y dice, bueno, que sí, que los efectos nos permiten ver de qué se llenó este Prakruti. Y lo podemos ver cuando estamos separados. Entonces, cuando estamos separados podemos ver qué es lo que pasa. Por ejemplo, si hay dos hermanas que se pelean, o tengo una hermana con la cual me peleo, sé que no me quiero pelear con ella, pero lo que tengo que ver es que esto es algo que se cargó o se programó en la vida pasada en ignorancia, pero ahora no estamos en ignorancia.
Yeah. Yeah, see, the people of the world, they get so upset and they are so sorry, etc., temporarily, and oh, this wrong thing happened. I would like to stop it, but they keep on trying to kind of temporarily put band-aids, or to kind of temporary band-aids on, oh, I'm so sorry, etc., temporary band-aids, I will not do this, I don't want to do this, etc., but really they cannot forgive the other person. You're the reason why this is happening. We saw that among those families fighting in the London Shibir. You're doing it. You're doing it. You see, blaming the other person, and only when you move away from Patricia or yourself, that you begin to see where you are wrong. What's going on inside you. You see, you see the effect inside you, and reacting to that effect because of underlying kashais within you. There's a kashai within you. You think you know more than your sister. You think she's not careful. You think that she's this and that. It's because you think you know something. You see, so this kashai of pride is coming in. You see, and so when something happens, you immediately pounce on her. You're like this. Don't do. And the sister, she doesn't have Gnan, so she comes back and says, you're like this, you're like this. This never stops then. This continues, you see.
Thank you. Dice, bueno, por ejemplo, estas hermanas que se pelean, se enojan y después se acercan y no quieren pelearse y es como que ponen curitas, ¿no? Lo arreglan, pero lo arreglan de forma temporal. Pero siempre que vuelve a suceder algo y le echas la culpa. Vos me hiciste esto, vos me hiciste lo otro. Solo cuando puedes separarte, estar en la separación, puedes ver qué está pasando dentro, puedes ver cuál es el efecto, puedes ver cuáles son tus calláis, puedes ver, puedes dejar de decir que ella no es buena en esto y yo sí puedo. Entonces puedes ver el calláis del orgullo, y solo cuando estás separada.
Yeah, you see that is why if this flawless vision, and this is part of the flawless vision book only in this Dadavani, if a person who has not received the Gnanvidhi it will help that person, but the real help comes from stopping the causes. You see, stop the cause, and the cause is stopped in the Gnanvidhi, and the causes are changed through, if there is no Gnanvidhi, the causes get changed through pratikramans and 9 columns, etc. It's happening, I wish I didn't have to do it, I don't want anyone to fight, I want to live peacefully in the family, I just don't know how to do it, you see. So even though in the effect she is fighting, inside she doesn't like it, you see, and that will improve in the next life, you see. So it will improve, but it doesn't go away, you see. There's an improvement towards the positive. There is no liberation there, you see. Whereas here, for us, we are now trying to finish, complete, clear, settle whatever worldly interaction is left for us, whether it is painful or pleasant. Just we're trying to close it. We're trying to move away from it. You see, see the difference.
Yes. En esta visión impecable, una persona que nosotros que recibimos el NVD tenemos tenemos el Pratikraman y tenemos los 9 Kalams para limpiar todas estas causas. Pero una persona que no recibió el NVD puede decir, bueno, no quiero pelear con mi hermana, no quiero hacer esto, no quiero hacer la otra. Eso es una mejora para la próxima vida, pero no le da la liberación. Nosotros que recibimos el NVD, la intención la tenemos en cerrar, en limpiar, en liberarnos de crear nuevos karmas, nuevas causas y limpiar todo con ecuanimidad.
There are two major divisions, two major things that Dada is sharing in today's satsang with us. First is about effects in this life, you see, that are unpleasant, you see, that open up in front of us, and then of course there is our reaction to it. You see, again, this effect happens to this body complex called Shuddha or Harman or Marcella, see, and that is from the past life. This effect was created as causes in the past life. But the reaction to it, when it unfolds, the reaction to it is from this life. I hate it. This man is not returning my money. He's a thief. When he wanted it, I gave him, and now he's making me come 8 times for my own money. You see? So the reaction, the new thing, is your own kashai, which is very dangerous. You see, it's very dangerous. It is actually your own effect, period. If you understand effect, you're not going to jump on him. This is an effect. It's vyavasthit. This is highly connected to our understanding of vyavasthit, what Dada is talking about, you see.
It's the perfect marriage. Kashais and Yavastit and a flawless vision.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Acá dice que dada que primero están los efectos que no son placenteros y después nuestras reacciones, ¿no? Lo que le pasa al complejo del cuerpo, mente y habla. Todo esto es de la vida pasada. Y lo segundo son las reacciones. Las reacciones son de esta vida. Y el ejemplo del dinero, ¿no? De ir a buscar el dinero y que no me paga y que no cumple y todas las cosas que decimos porque no nos pagan. Y estas reacciones son nuestros kasais. Este es mi efecto, cuando en realidad todo lo que sucede es yavasti.
That's one part that is talking about avoidance, and it's impossible for people of the world not to react and jump and I'll see you in court, just multiplied it by 10 times or 20 times, you see. I'll go to a lawyer, etc., right? I mean, but that's because they have no understanding of the cause. The world doesn't understand cause, you see. It is you and I who understand cause, you see. When this body of ours is feeling good, everything is good, we are not complaining, but as soon as things are not right with this body or this mind or these words, we start looking outside, oh, this, that. No, no, no. Now we begin to accept that this is how it is. This is how it is. There is no one to blame for it, you see. This and and when you never react to painful situations in life, you see, or when you do not blame anyone for it, then you are indeed a God. You are the Lord yourself, you see. This is where it all comes to.
Yes. Evitar las reacciones, ¿no? Como segundo punto, es evitar las reacciones, ¿no? Discutes con alguien y dice, te veo en la corte, imagínate que esto te pasa seguido, no multiplícalo por 10. Y esto lo que sucede es que las personas no entienden las causas. No entienden las causas. Nosotros podemos entender las causas. Cuando entendemos, ahora podemos aceptar que esto es así como es, y no hay a quien culpar. Y cuando reaccionas a una situación de dolor, no culpas. Y cuando esto sucede, es la misma esencia del Lord que está en ti.
Mhm. Otherwise, you and I, each one of us, have a beautiful mind, a beautiful body, and the ability to speak also is there, you see. But this causes that were laid in ignorance in the last life, their effects are there happening to this non-self complex, to file one, you see, not to you and I. And when you follow Dadashri as he is giving us, he says, Dadashri is just walking one step ahead of all of us, you see. He is taking each one of his Mahatmas with him, you see. He looks back and, it's just like you and I are going up a very narrow mountain path, it's very narrow, and Dada is walking, and if you say Dada is ahead of me and I just take the same step he is taking, I have no worries about falling down into the valley or anything. I'm just following Dada step by step by step, you see. So this is how he is leading us out of this very dangerous worldly interaction out there, kind of very dangerous between human beings, you see. It's horrible, if you're not careful, you get caught up in this whirlpool, you see.
Yes. Por ejemplo, de otra manera puedes tener una bella mente, un bello cuerpo, puedes tener la habilidad para poder hablar, pero estas causas también fueron creadas en la vida pasada. Y además esto le sucede al archivo 1, al file 1. Pero cuando sigues a Dada va un paso adelante de todos los Mahatmas. Y si vamos por un camino muy angosto en la montaña, es seguir el paso de Dada paso a paso. Y él se da vuelta y nos mira. Y esta es la forma en que nos ayuda y nos lidera para poder nos liberar en la vida mundana, en todas las cosas que suceden, porque hay que tener cuidado de no resbalarnos,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
de lo peligroso de las interacciones mundanas.
Mm-hmm. This It's a very powerful sentence here, you see. These 1, 2 sentences are very powerful in understanding. We need to understand that human beings kind of proceed in this world on the basis of their desire. You see, what somebody wants to become, somebody wants this, another one person wants this, they move in this world on the guided and kind of prompted by their underlying desire, you see, underlying intentions and desires. Oh, I want to build a very nice home, I want to build a big company, etc., etc., And Dadashri is not talking about them. Dada is telling us now. Our vyavahar, our worldly interaction that is now left, different from for Harman, different from Carlos, different for Patricia, everybody, Shuddha, everybody's vyavahar is different. Remaining worldly interaction is different. The remaining worldly interaction presents in front of us as a file, you see. So comes the agnas, you see. You don't have to worry about, what's left in this world? What will I have to do in this world? You don't have to give it any thought. It will come as a file, you see. And
yes.
And you will have equanimity to help you allow this file to settle down naturally.
Las intenciones y los deseos en la vida mundana es lo que mueve a los seres humanos, ¿no? Quiero tener una casa, quiero construir una empresa, pero Dada no está hablando de ellos, está hablando de nosotros. Y dice que las interacciones mundanas existen para nosotros, están allí, pero son diferentes porque las vemos como a un archivo, como files, y tenemos las agnas. Entonces, no hace falta que pienses en nada porque lo que viene va a venir como file y vas a tener la ecuanimidad para poder resolverlo.
So he essentially tells us, do not look at the problems of the world. That's not for you to handle. It's not your problem. Your problem is your file, and your file will come in front of you when it is ready. And when the file comes in front of you and when it is ready, you too are ready through who you are, you see. This is it. No matter what the circumstance is, whether circumstances of the mind or circumstance of the body, circumstance of the speech, you see, they are of the non-self. They are a file, you see. And you do not have to do anything with the circumstances. You do not have to do this or do that. You do not have to say, I'm not going to react. You just be who you are in your blissful, equanimitous state of equanimity. You see, that's all, It's
Yes.
it's an agna. It is a very, very important agna, you see.
Dice Dada, no mires los problemas del mundo, tu problema es tu archivo. Este archivo va a venir a ti cuando esté listo y tú también estarás listo. Estas circunstancias pueden tener que ver con la mente, con el cuerpo, con el habla, pero son archivos, son files y no hay que reaccionar. Sé quién eres en el dichoso estado del ser, en ecuanimidad.
Yes. The this lo hoy te puedo puro કરી રહ્યા And like you see now, he says, as you begin to settle your files with equanimity, you see, it's, as just imagine these words. Just kind of look at the word here. Settle the file with equanimity. He didn't say settle file by doing anything. He didn't say that. He said settle the file with equanimity. Eosamapura vyavasthit will guide Arman, will give the energy to Arman to do or not to do whatever, if you remain in your solid state of equanimity, you see. You say, oh, how will I do it? You're not Arman. Arman will do it. You are Amapura, see?
Mientras estés listo para resolver tu archivo con ecuanimidad. Esta es la frase maravillosa de Dada. Dada en ningún momento dice que tienes que hacer algo, porque no eres el hacedor, ¿no? La energía de Yavastit va a traer, te va a traer para que esto suceda con ecuanimidad. Tú eres alma pura, estás separado.
Mm-hmm. Now, you see, this vyavahar, this worldly interaction with this world will be there as long as there is this physical body, the mind, and the words, you see. It will be there until the last breath of our life, you see. But most of it is just naturally, most of it is no karma, no karma means that is automatic. It happens morning till evening, whatever you're doing. Only where the problem arises is where you enter into this illusion that this is happening to me. You see, it is a temporary illusion. I have to do this, I have to take. So you kind of take over, you see. Lord Krishna is driving the chariot. Dada is driving the chariot. Vyavasthit is driving the chariot, you see. But you say, oh, let me take the steering. Let me handle it, you see. And that is the growth in satsang. Slowly you will remain as who you are, and see how beautifully evidences settle the file. Evidences settle the file. You are not, and evidences are designed that they will come to their natural conclusion.
Yes. Krishna maneja el carro, Dada maneja el carro, Yavastit maneja el carro. Permanece en tu ser y ve cómo hermosamente las evidencias resuelven los archivos de una forma absolutamente natural.
You see, this is our liberation. You see, this is how we prevail in the present, which we read in this other Vyavasitapta Sutra, prevailing in the present and without any disturbances of going into the future or into the past, you see. And this is what Dadashri says, your internal reactions do not change. Your effect, your reactions to the effect doesn't change. You are, in essence, are not reacting, you see. You are becoming like Lord Buddha or Lord Mahavir, you see.
Esta es nuestra liberación, ¿no? Y cómo permanecer en el presente sin absoluta ninguna molestia, sin ir al pasado ni saltar al futuro, ¿no? Estar en el presente, esto lo habíamos visto. Y esto es que sin reacción al efecto, no hay reacción.
This today's satsang theme for us is like, is this little phrase which I will show you, and you know, it's that your results, internal, this internal changes and reactions do not happen to you, or do they? You see, that's the question. You see, life is going on, but what's going on inside you, my friend? You know, we are now on the path of liberation, you see. You know, and the world will never let you rest, you see. The worldly effects will never let you go to liberation. It is you who have to arrive here from inside, you see.
Los cambios y las reacciones internas, los efectos, ocurren dentro de ti, ¿no es así? Los cambios y las reacciones como él es un inútil, me hizo venir inútilmente, ocurren dentro de ti. Por lo tanto, cuando vuelvas a buscar estas son todas las reacciones internas a las que Dada se refiere.
This happens, this in the relative interactions with money, this happens a lot in India because India has a dual economy. One is through the bank legal economy for the bank accounts where you of course pay taxes on your money, but there is a secondary similar economy of cash transactions, under the table transactions, what they call black market money, you see. And it is a very huge it's here too, so it's very huge, you see. And a lot of people have that kind of money, cash, you see. They don't have money in the bank, you see. And so when people need it, somebody needs it, they give the money, but then the other person doesn't return it, you see. And you cannot really do anything legally with that person, because and then you get into trouble, because you say, how did you get that money, first of all, so then he has to continue going to his home only, and say, oh, would you please give me the money back, you see what I'm saying? Yeah.
En el mundo hay muchos temas de dinero, ¿no? Y especialmente en India hay una economía que es a través del banco legal, y después hay como acá, ¿no? Prestamistas se manejan en un mercado negro, ¿no? Entonces la gente usa mucho esto de ir a pedir prestado dinero, efectivo, y cuando la persona no lo devuelve, no hay nada ilegal, porque lo primero que le van a preguntar a la persona es de dónde sacaste este dinero. Entonces la persona que te prestó el dinero va a estar en problemas porque está dentro del espacio ilegal.
Yeah, and so even there are it's the other we talked about it in the money satsang, that this is money that actually when it leaves you, it bites you. It's it's poisonous money. It because it creates a lot of kashais within you and unrest and stress, and it also on the other person too. So that kind of money is just hurtful money, not helpful money, you see. You don't realize it because you think, oh, this is, I've got a lot of money, but oh, it's not the kind of money that gives you true peace, true happiness, you see, even relative happiness, Hmm?
Yes. El sistema del dinero es como que te envenena, ¿no? Que te trae callay, que te trae estrés, trae dolor, preocupaciones. No es la clase de dinero que te traiga felicidad o paz.
We, we'll come back. Let's take your break. We all of you. Let's take a break, 10-minute break, and then we will return.
Vamos a tomar 10 minutos de recreo y volvemos. Thank you, Shuddha.
Thank you. Thank you, dear. Okay, so we resume. Does anybody want to say anything about this? This is this way of har versus intention.
¿Alguien quiere compartir o preguntar algo sobre las intenciones o sobre ya bajar?
You see, all intentions are have, in our case, are have been separated from us. You see, now we are aware of the intention of Gonzalo or Carlos or Gabi. You see, we are aware of that intention, and that intention is subtle. It's inside. Only you can see it. I cannot see your intention. And it now turns into desire. You see, it is not considered true intention. You see, because it is not something that is going to produce a new cause and effect, you see.
Yes. Todas las intenciones ahora para nosotros están separadas de nosotros. Estamos conscientes de las intenciones que suceden dentro, que no son visibles, y las intenciones se transforman en deseos, porque no se consideran intenciones porque sabemos que estos deseos son causa y efecto.
It's not going to, it's like it's a desire of a sort. It's a subtle desire of a sort that is kind of losing its energies as over time. In other words, it's like a fresh rose that wilts, and it it doesn't it doesn't create any major waves in your life, you see.
El deseo es perder energía y tiempo. Es como una rosa fresca que, que aparece y desaparece.
And also this is, now if we go into the first section, we said there were two things in that this satsang of Dada is giving us. And the first is, of course, the understanding of effect and reaction to an effect. You see, effect means things that unfold in front of our life, whether in the home or outside, and in due to our lack of exact awareness of what is this, we kind of find that this file one gets into it and says, oh, I don't want to do it, I like it, I hate it, or will do whatever the file one is whatever does, you see. That is one thing. And then the other thing which the other talks about is this, in the previous paragraph, in that paragraph about the garba. You see, and the other just gives one example about what arises spontaneously around him. You see, he didn't instruct anybody, okay, now start doing the garbas. But looks like this particular incident about the Vihar lake is the beginning of Garba around Dada. So it was a very early event, you see, and then of course it became the incident. Mataji, the goddess, was replaced by Dada in the middle, you see, and So the nature of the garbhas changed.
Hay algo que es muy importante que vimos en el párrafo previo con el ejemplo del Garba cuando fueron a este lugar y Dada pensó en que sería hermoso que estas personas hicieran Garba. Y entonces sucedió espontáneamente y comenzó el Garba. Y era un evento temprano, como de los primeros tiempos, ¿no? Y después la imagen de Mataji cambia por la imagen de Dada.
And the important thing is that when you don't run after a desire, and when you just become the knower of the desire, beautiful things start happening around you, you see. You know that, Graham has a desire, or I don't like to do it, but just no, just keep saying, evidences come in. But when a time will come that no desire of yours, even though it is subtle and never expressed, it's subtle inside, never expressed to anyone. You're not saying I'd like to do this or I'd like to do that, etc., or have this or that. That evidences will bring the reality of that desire, desire to you, you see. It will happen around you naturally. This is a very critical advanced level understanding, you see.
Yes.
Mm.
Lo importante es cuando corres detrás de un deseo, y cuando te vuelves el conocedor del deseo. Cuando te vuelves el conocedor del deseo, entonces cosas hermosas comienzan a suceder. Hay veces donde hay un deseo que es sutil y que ni siquiera es expresado, no sale de nuestras bocas, sea lo que sea el deseo. Entonces esas evidencias van a traer el resultado llegará, vendrá de forma natural. Y esto es algo fundamental.
A state will come for all of us. A time will come, if not in this life, later on, and that whatever is growing whatever is presenting as a desire within us, or if we even say something, you see, it will have a significant value behind it. In other words, it will materialize, you see. Your whatever you plan, think, this will come into effect without any obstructions, without, you see, this is happening for the one who has not many files left, you see. He has files, all of these negative reaction files are over now, you see.
Todo lo que desees va a venir en esta vida o después. Y lo que venga lo que venga desde este deseo tendrá un gran resultado y vendrá sin obstrucciones. Y así también los archivos se terminarán.
It will happen.
Shuddha, can I ask a question?
Yes, Graham, yes.
Like on this theme of yavastit and reactions, to me, there seems to be like a subtle contradiction, in the teaching, where, for instance, on the one hand, we're told that everything is yavastit, everything has been pre-programmed in the past life. And in a way, we're trying to surrender to that, to stop doing, to allow everything to just unfold the way that it happened. And then at the same time, there seems to be like a subtle suggestion that we can cause a difference. So in the sense that you read there, that Dada created the garba. He made that dance happen because he had a thought. If we do something, we'll get a good result. Aren't we then aren't these two things that contradict each other?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
May I translate if
yes,
I
please.
can?
Mm-hmm.
Grimm dice que de alguna manera Yavastit y reacción le parece un poquito le parece contradictorio, ¿no? Si todo es Yavastit y está programado, y nosotros queremos terminar esto, ¿no? Como dice Dada, que el pensamiento creó el garba. I don't know, Grimm, if you understand Spanish and if it's okay. It's okay.
All
the
right,
question.
Graham, you want to say it in Spanish too, in your words, what you just said here?
Please.
Sí, estaba diciendo que quizá hay una contradicción un poco sutil, que es que la enseñanza nos dice que tenemos que aceptar que todo es yavastit, que todo está ocurriendo y que nosotros no hemos el hacedor. Entonces, y que todo está programado desde la vida pasada. Entonces no hay nada que hacer. Entonces, pero al mismo tiempo parece que hay una sugestión que podemos afectar cosas, que podemos, por ejemplo, en esto del Dada, con el baile, que él ha tenido este pensamiento y después ha ocurrido, que él ha creado, que él era la causa. Pero si él es el causa, la causa no es Yavastit ni la vida pasada. Entonces esto veo como un poco de contradicción.
Gracias.
It may appear that way, but there is. I just want to make sure that there is no error in the translation as far as the Garba is concerned. Let me share it again.
Bueno, vamos a compartirlo de nuevo para que no haya que hay contradicciones. A ver si es como está traducido.
All right, and let's go here. Yeah. You see, it's initially Dada says, well, Dada really is not wanting anything, really. What he is not, there was, Dada is making you understand that if you, Graham, or you, Shuddha, you finish all your files and, all the major, obstructions that come to you in your worldly interactions, so your work is done then, you see. What is preventing us, our liberation, is our files, that is number one, okay? And he says you will not then encounter many problems, in your worldly interactions if you settle your files the way I have told you. You see, that's the first sentence he is saying. The worldly interactions for you will not present much difficulty once you settle the व्यवहार that unfolds in front of you. then he says, then what is left is still your own internal intentions, and which are actually desires, you see. And those desires are ready and waiting for you in advance, you see. Those desires to materialize in effect are ready, you see. Because you see, he's essentially talking about relative interactions, you see. He's not talking about the liberated state of his or yours, you see, ours. He's talking about still this body is there, this world is there, and we are still there. We are existing in this world, and there are desires, you see. So he's talking about this kind of these desires in discharging life, you see. You understand? That's number one.
Okay.
Yes. Cuando sucede lo del Garba, él no quería nada. Él no quería nada. Solo fue un pensamiento y entonces sucedió. Es entender que el entendimiento es que terminemos con los archivos, con los files, y entonces todas las obstrucciones, que este trabajo, terminar con los files, está hecho, ¿no? Cuando se limpian, ya no habrá obstrucciones. Está hablando está hablando de lo relativo, y las interacciones sin obstrucción son cuando terminas de limpiar los archivos. Los deseos que están internos adentro tuyo, en lo relativo, están esperando para materializarse, para la materialización. Eso está listo. Y de los deseos tienen que ver con las interacciones mundanas y en una descarga también, porque los deseos también son descargas.
You see, this knowledge of Vyavasthit Graham is that Dadashri has given us is much higher than this current satsang that is in front of us. That knowledge is way higher, you see. That is the final knowledge, you see. This one here is about the desires of human beings in life, you see, and their in desires of Mahatmas, which are now kind of still there and left to be fulfilled, you see, and in their urgency to fulfill their desires, wanting it now or soon, they interfere, you see, and they create reactions in effect. You see, effect is programmed through Vyavasthit scientific circumstantial evidences, but they do not accept it, you see, and so they create interference, you see. So Dadashri gives an example which is very beautiful, that even without any instructions to anyone, he just had a thought, oh, how nice it'll be, if they do the Garba. And, that was the beginning of a very new interaction between Mahatmas and the Gnani Purush, you see. Move the body, the mind, and the speech, in some kind of a rhythm around the enlightened one, you see. And it has a very beautiful effect. People, intellect goes away, the reactions go away at that time. They feel very good, it's a relative level interaction here, you see. So there is really no contradiction. The other tree is kind of giving us a very deep awareness of this effect in life and the extra interactions on our part, which are the problem, you see. We become impatient, we blame others, etc. You see. So whatever is in yours or mine effect will come as it is without the interference. That is what Dada is trying to tell us here, you see.
Yes. El conocimiento de Yavasti es lo más elevado, es más elevado que el satsang, es lo más elevado, el más elevado conocimiento final. Esto sobre los deseos de la vida de la mundana, ¿no? Hay a los Mahatmas, por ejemplo, queriendo las cosas y queriéndolas ahora, lo que estamos creando es una interferencia. Y también a veces como que no aceptan lo que están sucediendo, y culpan a los otros, y bueno, y eso es una reacción a los efectos, interfieren. Entonces la interacción entre, no hay contradicción, porque la interacción de los Mahatmas con Dada o con el Gnani, lo que sucede es, sucede en lo relativo, ¿no? Mueve el cuerpo, di estas palabras, baila alrededor del Gnani, y todo esto es bueno. No hay contradicción, los efectos suceden y están las reacciones. Culpamos, no nos gusta, y entonces eso crea obstrucción. Y estamos hablando de la parte relativa.
Yeah, right. But it is a relative for Mahatmas, you see. In the discharging life after the Gnan Vidhi for a Mahatma, wonderful things start happening, which is just a byproduct of the fundamental liberation that happens for that Mahatma. He really, the Mahatma, whether it happens or not, really is not going in that direction. When he stops going in the direction of acquiring anything or wanting this or wanting that, then it begins to happen, you see. So this is a very subtle thing. As long as there is a desire, I want this and I want that, or I would like to have it this way, or I want this to happen, it pulls you into the state of grime, and it's better than without, it makes you kind of then struggle with this doership part, you see. And in a very subtle way, Dadashri is trying to say that when you take it easy, it comes to you. That is a simple gist of a simple sentence. When you stop running after anything, it comes to you naturally. Only thing is, you really have to stop running. In other words, you don't, you're it's very subtle. When you stop running after anything, then it comes to you. Yes.
En el mundo relativo para los Mahatmas, cuando están para la liberación, cosas hermosas suceden. Y cuando dejas de querer y de desear, las cosas suceden. Cuando insistimos, interferimos, entonces vamos, Green, por ejemplo, va al estado de Green, vamos al file 1, al archivo 1. Es tan sutil, que cuando estás tranquilo, las cosas vienen. Y la frase es, cuando dejas de correr, viene naturalmente.
Yeah, Dada,
sorry, Shuddha, so it happens to Patricia, and it happens when I stop wanting, things happens, and I have experience of that. It's like turn out of the mind, and things happens. Beautiful things happen.
Yeah, right. And with thank you. Yes. Yeah. Okay, go on. Yes, Graham, you were saying something. Hmm?
Yeah, I'm just going to say that, my feeling was a bit that we shouldn't be interested in outcomes. If we want to keep our inner vision on the pure soul, then we must become disinterested in the outcomes. Whether they're beautiful outcomes or not would become irrelevant.
Well, that's the final state.
Please
Sorry.
translate. Please,
Yeah.
Graham, translate.
Si quieres.
Yes, you do. Translate what you say, please.
Estaba diciendo que si vamos a tener ojo en la alma pura, tenemos que estar sin interés de cómo salen las cosas, aunque salen buenas o malas, que no es importante, que hay que mantener el ojo interiormente en la alma pura.
Right. That is if the state of the vitarag, or a very high level of movement away from this world. For the most part, in the process of becoming the vitarag, becoming absolutely disconnected, these are the things that happen to Mahatmas. You see, there's still some remaining issues, you see. And the message there is that, and then there is a further deeper message that whatever you have paid, whatever energy you have invested in thinking about something or wanting something, it's not going to go to waste, because that energy has already has gone into scientific circumstantial evidence pool, you see. So it will come as a result in this life, you see, or later. This the problem is, I want it, or this I want it, and it's, see, I'm happy, and I like it. And the problem is the attachment, abhorrence reactions that happen. That is the problem, you see. A lot of things are available to the Gnani compared to Dada. Now this Gnani, everything is falling into his lap, you see. It's a circumstances of time. You see it. The Gnani is surrounded by all kinds of luxury, and everything is just ready for him, etc. He doesn't have to pay any attention to any of that, you see. He's giving you just an example, you see. It is not that he wants it. You see, he only wants to share every word of Dada in exactness as much as possible, and take as many people to liberation as is his role,
Yes.
No,
Continue.
Yeah,
Do I translate? Esto que estaba diciendo Grimm es el estado Vitarak, ¿no? Más elevado, ¿no? Y para movernos de este mundo. Pero en el proceso que estamos los Mahatmas hasta hacer Vitarak, todavía nos pasan. Estas son las cosas que le pasan a los Mahatmas. Y el mensaje es que la energía que usaste para los deseos, eso ya fue a las evidencias científicas circunstanciales y vendrá a ti en esta o en otra vida. El único problema es el apego y la aversión. El Gnani actual no tiene ningún deseo, no quiere nada, no pone atención y las cosas caen a sus pies. El único que quiere es compartir las palabras de Dada en exactitud y llevar la mayor cantidad de personas posibles a la liberación.
Now, there is a very subtle thing. Sorry, you want to say something, Graham? You please continue to,
I just wondered whether I can ask you maybe a more practical question then, just to point at this, is that do you believe that we have directly the power to change our beliefs?
Do I believe that we have directly the power to change our belief? Okay. All right, say it in
La
good
pregunta,
Spanish.
la pregunta de Grimm es si tenemos realmente el poder de poder cambiar nuestras creencias.
Human beings before all beliefs are in the relative realm, you see. All beliefs of the human system are in the relative realm, you see. And as long as they believe that I am this body, then they have the power to change their beliefs. You see, they'll say, I believe this and I have the power to change the belief. When they realize who they are, then they begin to understand the limited role of that power, you see, to change the belief. Because, that belief becomes evidentiary and always is. Today he believes this, tomorrow he'll believes this, everything continues to change. So belief is fundamentally a relative thing. I believe I am this body. You see, that's a belief. You see? Sorry, go on.
Can you change that though? Can you change that? Could you change that? Do you have that power right now to say, I'm not Shuddha, I'm not this body?
Unless he is self-realized, until he has come home, it is impossible to change it. It's a temporary energy given to that belief. That's all. I know. These people on the karmic path and the step-by-step path are continuously doing that. I'm not the body, I'm the soul, I'm not connected to this world, this is not my world, etc., etc. It doesn't work. It used to work in the old days when there was alignment in mind, speech, and body, or something. But it is that traditional path of moving, and changing beliefs. But you still have your evidences of the mind, the body, and the signals of the mind, body, and speech coming to you that are bombarding you with, regardless of what you believe.
Las creencias tienen que ver con todo lo relativo y mientras que sigamos creyendo que soy este cuerpo, voy a creer que puedo cambiar mis creencias. Y que puedo cambiar mis creencias. Y estas son evidencias y las evidencias van cambiando. Todo esto, las personas que siguen el camino krámico dicen, no, yo no soy este cuerpo, yo no esto, yo lo otro. Pero esto podía funcionar en otros tiempos, cuando había una coherencia entre la mente, la palabra y la acción. Pero ahora prácticamente es imposible.
Yeah, this that happened to Dada with reference to the Garbha, okay, it's entirely an effect of the Gnani Purush that became tremendously beneficial in the science of liberation. Okay, this, he just had a thought. And by the way, I want to correct something here. Sorry, go on. At least translate that and then I will.
Bueno, esto que sucedió a Dada, que Dada pensó y el Garba, resultó ser algo absolutamente beneficioso para todos.
I want to correct something, because as we spent some time on this paragraph, I am looking at the Gujarati and I want to double check.
Está chequeando algo, Shuddha.
And Dadashri says, 50 સ્ત્રીઓ અને 50 પુરુષો બધા મળી ગરબો ફરે તો કેવું સરસ. This we should remove this. It would be so nice if they did garbo, not Mataji's garbo. He says if they just go do a garbo, they go around, how nice it will be. It is there. He's not saying if do Mataji's garba. This is an error in translation. Please correct it. If they do garba, and so it is a folk dance that goes round and round. Traditionally, it is around the goddess Amba, okay? But Dada is not saying, he's saying something much deeper here, okay?
Ujú. Acá pide Shuddha que si se puede corregir esto y sacar el matashis, porque la palabra de Dada fue garbo.
Mhm.
And devotional folk dance dedicated to the goddess Ambat also remove.
Well, no. Garba means it's a folk dance. It's a devotional folk dance, and everybody knows what Garba is. It's a devotional folk dance. Usually around goddess Amba, but now there's something new happening here, you see. You see what I'm saying?
Entonces sí sacar el matashi y la explicación es que es una danza devocional dedicada a la diosa Amba, pero ahora cambió totalmente.
Okay. I want to emphasize this point because it's important, and this is evidences in satsang that are coming up that through Graham's questioning that we are going into the depths of this. What it is a phenomenal thing. You see, this arti of Dada, like Jai Dada Bhagwan that Marcella played just before satsang, you see, it had never ever happened in the land of India around a human being, okay? This is a living person. He's a Jai Dada Bhagwan. They will do it on statues and idols and everything, on an imaginary god or whatever god they believe in, all right, in a temple. That's number one. Number two, this garba around the Gnani liberator. He just had a thought. How nice it'll be if they just go round, all right? He is not the owner of the body of A.M. Patel. He has come with such amazing energies for liberation of the world. You see? And it is one, of course, it instantly liberates the person who is doing the garba, around such a living God. But and that is our experience for all of us, but also other people watching will say, hey, what's going on? Who is this one in the middle? You see? And the curious ones will really want to know. Then they will look at Dada. I'm sorry, I'm speaking too long, but they look at Dada and say, oh, they'll say, look at Dada and say, oh, he's an old gentleman. But who are all these people? These people are all educated people. They are all they're decent human beings who are doing this. What's going on? They'll be curious to know something. You see, so you get attention on this phenomenon that is Gnani Purush Dadashri and his existence in this world, you see. So this is the beginning of another beautiful thing for Akram Vignan when you look at it, you see.
Yes. Acá es un fenómeno, es maravilloso el arte Adavaguan que escuchamos que pone Marcella antes del satsang. Es algo que antes nunca había sucedido antes, y que podamos cantar frente a una persona viva, a un Dios vivo, ¿no? Y que el garba del Gnani liberador, que hemos hacer este garba lleva a la liberación instantánea. Y cuando sucedió el evento de que él pensó y todos bailaron, pasaba la gente, miraba y decía: "Uy, ¿quién será este caballero, no? Que está ahí, y esta otra gente que está bailando, ¿qué es lo que está haciendo?". Entonces las personas empezaron a prestar atención, eh, pensar de qué era lo que estaba sucediendo. Era este es el inicio, el hermoso inicio del Akram Vignan.
You see, look at that incident that he's describing, and that of Lake Vihar. There is Dadashri, Gnani Purush Dadashri just had a thought that came, but with the very thought, 50 men and 50 women just got up and started doing the garba around him. You can't plan this. You cannot desire this, because every desire has an effect later on. You see, if you desire something, if you want something, Graham, now, it's not immediately come to you. It has, the timing has to be right, this, that, and then it happens, you see. This thing here is a very major unfolding of this beautiful science of Akram Vignan, where you just don't sit and think about, Amapura and like Shuddha is doing with you here and talking. There is a lot more that involvement of the participants, even, you see, everybody, the Mahatmas participating in, the brain is not needed, they just go and, they're dancing, but they're in another world, you see. And, I mean, he himself has said that you can do 50 samiks and you just in this 40 minutes, 48 minutes of going around with, around the Adashri or the Gnani. Even Deepak Bhai standing there is actually telling you it's really Dada Bhagwan that we are actually going around, you see. And it has an amazing effect. It gives you the effect of doing 50 samiks, you see. So, such a thing.
Mira, por ejemplo, el ejemplo del lago, ¿no? Él tuvo un pensamiento y 50 hombres y 50 mujeres comenzaron a bailar. Y esto es algo que no puedes planear, porque cuando planeas algo las cosas no vienen inmediatamente porque se necesita de tiempo y otras cosas. Así que esta grandiosa Akram Vignan desarrolla, hay mucho más que los participantes. Las personas van y bailan y para eso no necesitan el cerebro. Y Dada decía que el efecto de una danza de garba es equivalente a 15 samaiks.
You see,
Y te lleva como a otro mundo.
Yeah. Oh, there's a thing that this is a practical thing that Dada is giving us. He says, enough satsang. Sometimes just get up you, Graham, in Spain in your own home, you're alone or maybe there with Angelique, and you put Dada in the middle, photo of Dada, all right? And then just go, instead of singing Dada Bhagwan sitting, Dada Bhagwan Nasim Jijikar Ho, you just go naturally around. Dada Bhagwan Na Asim Jijikar Ho, however you want it, but you just go, you're going round and round and round, and within 10-15 minutes you will see something amazing thing happening inside for you. There is no one else. Dada in the middle, and you are going round and round. Your mind is involved in it, your body is involved in this, you're clapping and you're going, and it's you're transformed into a different world, you see.
But I
Yes.
agree with that in the sense that what matters is the inside. It's, what I'm beginning to see more and more clearly is that whatever's happening on the outside, whatever the forms are, it's the interface which determines how you experience that, how you see it. If your inner space is uplifted, if you're in the vision of the pure soul, then the particulars of the form of what's happening outside in the world don't really matter.
Mhm. Mm. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Please translate.
Yeah.
Dice, en el primero Shuddha dice, puedes poner en tu casa la imagen de Dada y empezar a girar alrededor de él, y tal vez no estés cantando Dada Bhagwana sin JJ cargo, pero el solo hecho de hacerlo por 10 minutos, algo maravilloso va a sentir en ti. And then again, Green, please now
Yeah, but you
translate
you do the
what you say.
garba with singing Dada Bhagwan Asim Ji Jakar. You know, you're
Okay.
alone. You don't don't sit
Estás
and do it.
solo en tu casa y giras alrededor, haces el garbo alrededor de Dada, cantando el Dada Bhagwana sin JJ cargo.
Okay,
Aclaración.
now you okay. So go on. Now translate what Graham said.
Green, please translate.
¿Lo hago yo?
Sí, por favor.
Bueno, estaba diciendo que sí, lo que me parece a mí que es importante y lo que estoy aprendiendo ahora es que el espacio interior es lo que determina tu experiencia. Si tú estás en un espacio elevado por dentro, no importa lo que ocurre fuera, no importa la forma de la cosa. Que tú estás en la dicha y ya está. Ves todo desde este punto de vista.
Yes, absolutely. You're correct. There is nothing higher than you and your connection with your Lord inside. You see, the distance decreases and decreases and decreases and decreases. You see, that's how it is. It's the distance that going away from Him that is causing the difficulties, you see. Now, the role and the presence of the Gnani in this world, the Gnani Purush Dadashri in this world, is beyond description. You see, it's beyond human capacity to comprehend, this Gnani of this Dada of ours is someone that there's simply no words in our heart for him, you see. This and we are accepting his words and understanding them, and also Graham and all of you, there is a frankly, as I read this paragraph with you about the Garba, there is so much details in it, you see. So much inner details that will open us for each one of us down the line. Dada is giving it to us now, but it will apply down the line. You see, it will have, in his own ways. He didn't ask for anything. He just had a thought. Oh, how nice it will be, if these 50 men and women were sitting now listening to me just do garba, it just and he says they, the moment the thought came, those people just got up and started doing the garbo, the garbo. This is, to him, this was, he's a pure observer, pure knower and deliverer of this Vignan to the world. He's just giving it. Says, hey, it is happening. This is how it happens. and
Dice que, sorry, Esto es como lo más elevado, ¿no? La conexión con el Dios interior. Y cuando estás conectado con eso, todo lo demás está afuera y puedes subir, bajar, pero todo está separado. Y este conocimiento de Dada está más allá de la comprensión humana. Y no tenemos palabras para describirlo, pero sí aceptamos sus palabras. Y hay tantos detalles tan profundos en esto que estamos leyendo ahora. Y en el ejemplo del lago también es, Dada no pidió, él solamente pensó y sucedió. Y eso es puro conocimiento y es lo que está haciendo, lo que hace Dada, que es entregarnos el puro conocimiento.
I'm sorry I'm taking a little time here, but this, my friends, is such an amazing thing with the original Gnani Purush Dadashri that it cannot be duplicated. What we human beings do is we program it. So now, every satsang has a garba and a gnan vidhi and a blah, blah, shum, shum, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, you see. You see, this is how the human beings like to put everything in boxes, organize and suborganize and directories and subdirectories and yeah. So that's how it is.
Esto es tan grande, maravilloso lo que Dadashri nos dio, ¿no? Y las personas, y ahora sucede que todo el conocimiento y esto se va dando así normalmente. Y a las personas, por otro lado, les gusta organizar, dirigir y tener todo así dirigido.
I will share with you one incident, because it comes to mind. I was with the Gnani in the first the first attempt to go give Akram Vignan to Germany in 2009 in a little village called Dingolfing, you see, very close to the plant where they make BMWs, you see. And there were only about maximum 70, 60, 70, seekers, Mahatmas, and they were not Mahatmas yet, you see. There were 3 or 4 of us, and then 4 or 5, about 6 or 7 of us, and then there were 1 or 2 German, maybe 4 German Mahatmas who had taken Gnani in India, you see.
Bueno, esto que les voy a compartir sucedió con el Gnani en 2009 cuando fue a Alemania, a un lugar que se llama Dingolfing, y había alrededor de 70 personas. Había 4 alemanes que habían tomado el Gnani en India y 6 Mahatmas que llevaban en...
And so these Germans with their intellect, they started asking a lot of questions, and everybody was, we could see in the Gnani, we could all see from the nature that they were getting more and more confused. They were, a lot of intellect-based questions, you see, Graham, and they did not know Deepak Pai or who he is, and here we got a photo of Dada, and this is totally new stuff for them, you see. And so after the morning satsangs, and they said, Deepak Pai said, forget about it, let's do the Gnanvedi first now, directly Gnanvedi, and then Gnanvedi, after the Gnanvedi, we will do Garba, you see. And the Gnanvedi, of course, is the Gnanvedi, but then when they did the Garba, the entire environment changed. Everybody became so friendly, and Germans are a very reserved people, but they just kind of broke down, and it was a beautiful thing. So this is the energy of Garba, you see, the dance, the dance, but you're not dancing to rock music or this or that, or you're not dancing with a woman, or you're not trying to show off your body or your ability. You are trying to forget who you are. You're just trying to move away from the idea that I'm dancing, you see.
Yes. Bueno, entonces en el 2009 llega el Gnani Deepak Pai, bueno, no lo conocían, y bueno, los alemanes son como muy intelectuales y preguntaban, y pues, como que todo eso lo llevaba a una mayor confusión. Entonces, después del satsang matutino, el Gnani dijo, bueno, vamos a dar el Nanvidi ahora y después vamos a hacer Garba, así en el momento. Entonces, después que fue el Nanvidi, que el Garba sucedió, todo el ambiente cambió. Como que se pudieron abrir, amistosos, amigables, y cambió todo el ambiente. Y el baile no es un baile que estás bailando rock ni cualquier cosa, es garba, es olvidarte de que bailás, olvidarte.
Okay, Shuddha Bhagwan. So, yeah, anyone
Thank you,
else?
Shuddha.
Yeah, right. Thank you, Graham. Yeah, and that made us kind of also correct the error, because the other did not say Mataji Nagarba, so we should not put Mataji there,
Gracias Graham por tus preguntas, y pudimos ver esto de Mataji, que hay que corregirlo y sacarlo porque Dada no dijo eso.
Yeah, so. Okay, so Shuddhatma Bhagwan, our highest namaskars, Patricia and Shuddha giving our highest namaskars to the Paramatma within each one of you, the absolute one, the still one, Jai Sachidanand, Jai
Jai
Sachidanand.
Sachidanand.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Jai
Jai
Sachidanand.
Sachidanand.
Yeah, right.
Jai Satyanado.
Yeah, Jai Sachidanand, Jai Sachidanand, Gabi, Gayatri, Cynthia, Monica, and everyone else, wonderful here. Yes, Maria Cristina. Hey, yeah, yes, Guillermo, yes, Jai Sachidanand, Jai Sachidanand. Right. Marcella, thank you, Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand, Shuddha. Muchas gracias.
Yeah, thank you, my dear. Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand, Shuddha Bhagwan.
Yeah, Jai Sachidanand. Wonderful. This satsang that happened in London, by the way, this it was magnificent. There were some amazing clarity, some of the stuff that came out. And so, if you watch it again, it'll become more beautiful. So, it's available for a few days. So just watch the morning satsangs, particularly. They were beautiful, morning satsangs.
Aprovechen que los satsang de las mañanas de Nanvidi, de las ceremonias que hubo en Londres, va a estar disponible por unos días. Son maravillosos, y aprovechémoslos. Thank you, Shuddha. Jai Sachidanand.
Thank you, Shuddha.
Jai Sachidanand. Thank you.